Hey guys, STXD here with a quick guide on how to control Occupy spawns on Dumbo. You know, Dumbo has always gotten a bit of hate, and I can see why. This map feels really chaotic compared to most others, especially in the middle. When I first saw and played the map, I didn't really think I was gonna like it either, but ever since, I've really enjoyed Dumbo. The mix of close quarter engagements in the middle and long-range gunfights along the edges means this map allows for any playstyle. In my first spawn control video, I mentioned that the order of the Occupy zones in 6v6 is randomized every time, but they reverted this for Season 1. I think so that casual players could kind of get an idea of where to go before they tried out Ranked Occupy. Good choice by them. If you want to see me anchoring over on Ranked, you can see me apply everything I talk about in these spawn videos in my Ranked Occupy guides. So be on the lookout for those coming out starting this week, along with Domination, Zone Control, and Escort rank guides too, made to help you win more games and climb. Okay, now let's get into the gameplay. Whenever I start Dumbo on this side, I want to play to flip our team's spawns for the second zone. So during P1, I try to get to their balcony to try and get a bit more involved on the first zone after a wave of my teammates' spawns. Emphasis on the wave of teammate spawns. If you just go straight up to their balcony without getting your teammates a few back P2 spawns, you aren't anchoring anything for them, and if you die, you're probably just going to spawn back at square one. I'm seeing more enemies off the rip here than usual, so I'm playing a bit slower before I get there, and I'm a bit hesitant about enemies still spawning in their back long building. As P2 starts up, I'm just playing behind the point so they can't work around the back from the P4 area and pinch us and flip spawns for free. I chose this spot in particular because I was a bit worried about someone sneaking through the long building, but it didn't happen this time. There's a lot of good spots you can switch between back here, but I think playing behind the scissor lift may be the best spot to cover the most angles while still having some survivability. I'm trying to keep our team spawning back here so that they can easily reinforce the point, and so that the enemy is forced to funnel into the meat grinder up front. Even when they do work the pinch, they have to deal with me first, which gives my team ample time to turn and pick up that flank. And because the enemy is spawning on the other half of the map, we can still spawn close to the hill in the long building when I die. Getting out to P3 from this anchor spot back P2 is tough, especially when the enemy's still pushing you in back here. So when they finally do kill me and I spawn out, it's honestly the best case scenario. When it comes to actually anchoring P3, it's best done by holding the right side. There's so many angles over here that you can use to make it impossible for them to push this way. Once they get close and realize they're not getting past you, they're forced to try and break left and find another way around while you shoot them for free. If you have to push P3 late, try to mount a push from the other side. If your team can make it through the container and the left entrance, you can cause a lot of chaos and have a good shot at breaking the hill, even if they have a good setup. I play P4 a lot like I play P2. This back area anchors close spawns for your team while funneling the enemy through the tunnel and the balconies, but be wary of route takers. But you've also got decent angles on those balconies too. Now when it comes to P5, I hate funneling up the street. I'm always getting lasered and sniped through car windows, so instead I like to find a way to get to front P2. That way I can give my team some long building spawns, I've got eyes on the cross from front, and I can pick up the mid flank and even the long flank if they really try that. And you can see the way that I'm positioned here. When an enemy comes out, they have to choose to either look to the right, towards the zone where my teammates are, or to look at me, the guy who's been waiting for you to hit this route. Whatever the enemy chooses, they're not getting much out of it. Another thing about positioning when I'm anchoring, I like to put myself in a position where if a player really wants to flank me, they're gonna have to waste a lot of time committing to a long route and hope they hit it when I'm not periodically checking it. Going back into P1, you see me trying to find a way to their balcony again unsuccessfully. The enemy is able to hold me back from the P4 side this time. So instead, I try to hit it from P5 street, but along the way, I decided to just try and push straight through P2 instead of hitting their balcony, which turned out to be the right call because they're respawning P4 side and flooding the balconies and back P2. The game's pretty much over at this point, but holding the back P2 left the enemy with absolutely nothing they could do. Thanks for watching my quick guide on controlling Occupy spawns on Dumbo. If you want to see more spawn guides like this, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting these like once or twice a week, along with rank specific guides. So stay tuned, and a special shout out to subscriber number 424, Mage Science. I'm glad my videos were able to help you out, man. If you want a special shout out at the end of the next video, subscribe and drop your sub number in the comments. And check out my channel for faction and weapon overviews, yap sessions, shorts, and more.